Hello, I'm Kate from the Fold Line and I'm back this week with part 2 of Sew the Trends. If you haven't seen the first part, please go and watch that before you watch this. I'll pop a link down below so that you can go and watch it, because otherwise you're going to not know where you are. So, following on from last week, thank you for bearing with us and letting us pop it into 2 different videos. It just felt it would have been such a long video otherwise. So we are going to start with shirts. You can see here I've got them in 2 different camps. We've got a very structured, traditional, closer to a classic man shirt, with the ones from Mango, Zara and ASOS, and then we've got actually a very similar style, but fabrication is totally different. The Whistle, Zara and Mango one, you can see that it's been made in something like a silk or a viscose, so it's got that lovely sort of drape. It feels a lot more feminine. I've got 4 patterns for you. So if you're in camp, traditional man or closer to that banding, then the carry blouse from Fibre Mood is a really great option. It's a classic boxy shape. It's got a pocket on the chest, and the detail in this is actually in the sleeve. There is a pleated sleeve, which I think is really fun. But if you are looking for something that is much more classic and pared back, then the unisex shirt from the Modern Sewing Company is a really great option. I love this pattern. It's perfect and it will never go out of style. If you're swaying towards something a bit more floaty and you want to have a go with some drapey fabrics, then there are 2 fantastic blouse patterns. So we've got the Everyday shirt from the Avid Seamstress and the Jenna blouse from Vicky Sews. These are actually quite similar in styles. It's just picking which one obviously that you would prefer, and they would look great sort of tucked into jeans, or you could also wear them for work. So it's quite both of these pattern shapes are totally versatile and useful. So moving on to knitwear. Knitwear felt like the sort of big thing this season. It was very much the focus of all of the shops to me. Everywhere you went in, there were big kind of knitwear displays right at the front, and I was quite pleased because I'm obsessed with knitwear. So in terms of jumpers and cardigans, so you can see here we've got big sort of turtleneck, quite cozy. In the middle we've got a very simple round neck jumper, lots of different colours for these, but obviously really useful. They go with everything. Also you can see this kind of cropped cardigan with 3 buttons. This featured in lots of different shops as well. So the 3 patterns that I've got, if you want to make the big chunky polo neck, I thought the Maryland sweater from Kate's Sewing Patterns was a really nice option. It's got that big statement collar that you're looking for. It's got a drop shoulder. It's quite loose fitting like the ones that we saw in the picture, so that one felt like a really great match. If you wanted to make yourself a very simple crew neck jumper, the Carol sweater from Vicky Sews I thought worked perfectly. Crew sheet doesn't have a drop shoulder, which a lot of the other sewing patterns when I was trawling do, and I just thought the proportions of this were perfect. If you want to make the cropped cardigan, which I love, and I mean I'm sure many of you who are keen sewers will have heard of the Marlowe sweater from True Bias. It is such a popular sewing pattern, and I just think the proportions of this are great, and it's almost a perfect match. So those 3 are your first banding in the knitwear department. So next up, other sort of styles that were really popular. I saw loads and loads of jumpers like this. You can see the Whistles and the Mango ones with the big collar with either a zip or a button up front, and it gives it this kind of, creates a kind of quite a big sort of statement collar, which I really loved. They were made in knitwear and in sweatshirting or fabric. The other option were these sort of little tank tops that you wore over long sleeve tops. They were around last winter and they're definitely staying, and I think they're really fab layering pieces. So the patterns that we found for this, if you wanted to do the big statement zip up, the DD pullover from Fibre Mood was almost a perfect match. I was really pleased. I saw it. It's made out of sweatshirting as well, which is very much like the things that I saw in the shops. If you're feeling like the tank is something that you'd like to explore, I thought that the Pierce vest from Ensemble would be really nice. I appreciate that the picture I showed you had much more of a round neck, which would be an easy alteration to make, but I thought that would be a really nice starting point. And actually leaving it as a V, wearing it with a polo neck underneath would look really nice. So I thought those two would work really well in the knitwear department. Right, up next we have got trousers. Tailored trousers. These were everywhere, absolutely everywhere, in every shop. So I would say if there's one thing you want to do this season that would very much make you kind of on trend, it would be a tailored trouser. The thing that I liked about it, and I'll show you the picture, is they came in lots of different sorts of proportions. Actually, quite a lot of them were cropped and quite a lot of them were long. So, but for us, because we obviously alter our clothes to make them fit, actually you just need one pattern and you can then change the proportion as you wish. So I've got two different patterns that I thought would work really well for this. The first one is a Spencer woven pant from Style Arc. You can see the proportions are really nice on this. It's got a little pleat at the front, fly front, zip up as well, and it's styled here long, but you could definitely cut these off and make them slightly cropped. The other option, which is slightly less tailored but I thought would work really well, is the Mitchell trousers from Closet Core. I thought they've got a really lovely pocket detail. They've got really nice little pulls at the side of these trousers, which make them quite interesting and have a bit of a nod to tailoring. And again, these are styled long, but you could definitely cut them off and make them slightly cropped. So I thought those two would work really well for your tailored trouser. Other trouser styles that were out there, this sort of, you can see here, I'll show you some picture, a sort of slightly barrel leg trouser, almost like a slightly tailored trouser. Some of them had elasticated waist as well, but crucially that's slight barrel leg, so it kind of tapers in at the ankle. The other option were these really sort of cozy in quite lightweight knit, essentially joggers. And you can see here how they've been styled, so they are almost like a full outfit, and it's the top and the bottom are made in the same fabric or very similar colours, so that you kind of wear that as a full outfit. So pattern wise, if we're talking barrel trouser shape, I thought the chanterelle trousers from So Liberated would be perfect for these. They've got that kind of little tuck at the bottom, which then pulls in the leg and gives it that shape. They're elasticated waist, so they're quite easy to make. If you wanted to go slightly more traditional, I thought that the worker trousers from the Modern Sewing Company would work perfectly. You can see they very slightly taper in at the ankle. They're high-waisted. They're such a beautiful shape, these trousers. I absolutely love them. So now, in terms of our comfy cozy, I'm going to start with the Olo set from Named. So this pattern, actually you get the top and the bottom, and you can see that they've been made in the same fabric, which is very similar to the picture that I just showed you. So actually, in terms of if you're going to buy something, you get the full set, and this would very much be on brand. If you like the idea of that, but you feel like those are a bit too loosey-goosey, I thought that the Avalon pants from Tessuti would work really well. These actually don't look like they are made out of knit, but they are, so they're slightly more structured, and I thought they kind of gave a nod to that and would work really well. So that is it for our trouser department. Next, and well, I suppose last but not least, we've got skirts. Now, I quite often don't even mention skirts because they don't seem to be a big feature, but they are very much a prominent feature of winter. So we've got three different bandings of skirts. First up, we have got this long denim skirt, and I definitely mentioned this in the summer trends one. This sort of long denim skirt with a slit up the front, very, very much still around, and I think actually a really great piece for autumn. While it's slightly warmer, but the denim kind of keeps you warm. The other thing was cargo skirts. So obviously cargo trousers were very much in this summer. There's definitely them still kicking about in the background, but the skirt options of this was very much prominent in quite a lot of the shops, and I actually think it's a really nice way to nod to the sort of 90s without going kind of too wiggly wild. And then finally, we've got these really lovely, which again were here in the summer, these lovely slip skirts. So cut on the bias, very simple and a great piece. You can put anything with them and they look fantastic. So pattern wise, For the skirt, I thought that the Cameron skirt from Vicky Sews was almost spot on. You can see that it's got the slit up the front. It's at the right length as well. So crucially, it needs to be sort of midi or longer. It's got really lovely seam details on this skirt as well. The next, if you're looking for the cargo skirt, so edition 25 of Fibre Mood has got it in it. So you'd need to buy the whole magazine to get this pattern. But if you wait for another couple of months, maybe, or another month, they will release this as a pattern on its own. But if you cannot wait, then you can get it in the magazine. So you can see here, it's got the pocket details on the side. It's a long skirt. I mean, very much, this one to me almost feels completely spot on. So I was really pleased when I found that. And then last but not least, we have got the Evie Buyer skirt from Tessuti. This is perfect. There are quite a few of these sort of slip style skirts actually from the indie designers, but I just really love the Tessuti one, and I know that it's been a really popular one and lots of people love it. So that one is bang on. So I hope that was helpful and you found something nice to sew. Don't forget, there will be a blog post. So all the slides and stuff that I put in will go into a blog post, so that you can actually go and have a proper kind of relaxed look and see what you like and what you don't like. And that is it for trends for now. I hope that was useful, and we will see you very, very soon. Bye.